Pulschat.
Okay, I was literally thrown off by the whose mans. I don't know who whose mans is. How's it going, guys? Welcome to another Pulse Chat. You know, the Friday thing that we do on Fridays. It's that Friday thing. There's not much to talk about, so this one's kind of going to be more of a chill thing. Although we do have a couple small topics to go over. But, yeah, this is just going to be a thing. Everybody was kind of busy. Will and I are obviously the normal ones for the Pulse Chat, so we're just going to, like, bicker. And I guess if you guys want to, also, send me videos on, send me, like, a link to different videos to react to, I guess, for me and Will to just look at during the stream. If you just send them on, either Twitter or Discord, and then let me know. And, we'll look at them, I guess. Just because why not? I feel like this is going to be a short Pulse Chat, so yeah. But either way, how's it going, Cass, Frank, Master Smash, Ocean, Who's Mans, whoever that is, Robotech, whoever that is who has a wrench on my channel because you changed your name. I have a beard and I didn't shave, so I feel really bad, like really bad about that. I look stupid with a beard. Will, how do you feel about beards?
Beards are mighty. They're
mighty.
Very manly boy.
Yeah, well, if I got a bushy beard.
Actually, like, I fucking love beards.
Boy, just grow a beard like, boy.
Beards are badass. I've always been a baby face.
Oh, you're Red Panda. Okay. Boy. Just. Boy. Okay, so let's start off with Sony. Not much to talk about there. But the whole idea and problem they have with crossplay, I want to hear everybody's opinion on this. Mm-hmm. What do you guys feel about Sony being so against crossplay, being so against you being able to play your games with your friends that don't have the console that you have? I personally don't like it. I think it's unfair that everyone's
already going in.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't know, it's like super unfair, and people need to, well, Sony needs to just open up and just, you know, suck it up and stop being such babies. Like, their problem is they don't want people to buy a PlayStation, or no, buy an Xbox or something to play with PlayStation users. Like, they want you to own a PlayStation to play PlayStation with other people. And it's like, we pay monthly for the internet, we pay monthly for their service. We should honestly be able to do what we want with our systems. That's honestly how I feel.
Right.
But what's your idea on that?
I mean, especially with the crossplay, like, you know, I am, and like, I'm crazy. Like, I always have that consumer mindset when it comes to stuff like this, and I 100% agree. It's like Sony is, at this point, I think it's very, very low to do that, especially when, and they can't. And I like how developer, because, you know, at first it was just Microsoft alone, and now Nintendo is 100% on board, and now developers and, you know, entire teams are on board with bashing Sony. So it's like no one is on their side anymore, and it makes me really, really happy, because I know how garbage them and their policies are, and kind of they've been like that for a while. So and it's not even like an opinion thing anymore. Like, the fact that they are locking a third-party account to their system,
yeah,
is now it's an objective thing. It's like a fact that you can't even deny anymore.
Yeah,
that is anti-consumer.
Yeah, and guys, to give some clarity to what he just said, Fortnite accounts, people at first, I don't know if it's been resolved or whatever, but Fortnite accounts have been getting blocked or by Sony. Or people have been losing data and purchases because they were transferring their Fortnite data over to the Nintendo Switch. So Sony thought it'd be the smart idea to basically block that, take your data, or ban you altogether, which is completely unfair.
Right.
So I don't know, because that bears to the thought, like, there are plenty of you guys that will message me and ask me, hey, let's play this game together. and I'll be like, I have it, but I have it on this system. Right. So you guys are unable to join me because you don't have it on Xbox or you don't have it on PlayStation, and that sucks. Even right. Will, like, he has GTA, I do too, on PS4, but the thing is if I'm streaming it with Nail, we're playing on Xbox, so all he can do is watch, which obviously isn't cool. He could totally join because he owns the game. Therefore, he should be able to join, because people pick the system based on the games that are on it, not based on what their friends have. That's how people pick a system. So it's not like Sony's gonna for starters, they're so far ahead of Microsoft, it doesn't even matter. So it's like, I don't see what they see a threat in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna hurt their sales to open up crossplay. Right. So I don't fully understand.
Like, exactly. Like, that's like the main damage control. Like, well, why would they, give sales to another company? But like, that doesn't make sense. Like, and this is what the fanboys always say. Like, well, Sony's already so far ahead, and Microsoft can't win this generation. I just can't see it. So exactly. So why not? Like, if anything, allowing the crossplay will only like cement that fact. It's like, we're so ahead, we don't even care if your player base crosses over with our player base. And like, I'm glad that you sort of brought up GTA 5, because that's like my dream game to have crossplay with, because it's, how many users are on there now? Like 90 million. So
yeah,
it's like,
it's too many.
It's a really fast selling game. It's a lot of people to play with. So
the other funny thing is like, the title that I chose technically was not even, well, there's no technically, it isn't clickbait. Just to put that out there, Sony has openly come out and said they do not like or agree with Fortnite or its business model, because they will release a game, for example, like God of War, which sold really, really well, and people are playing Fortnite except for God of War on their system. So like, they feel like people are ignoring their games to play this free game, and it's insulting to them, which I agree with them. But at the same time, people bought your hardware to own your hardware, to eventually play your games. Therefore, if they don't have the money for your game, they're obviously going to continue playing the one they've already been playing. So it's like, that's not up to Sony to give their opinion on that.
Right.
But they have openly come out and said that they don't even like the game as it is. The only company that's been open to it was Microsoft. And what makes that even funny, for people that don't even know, is that the people that created Fortnite were the minds behind Gears of War. It wasn't even gonna get a PlayStation release at first, so it would have been a real funny and salty situation if Microsoft held on to that like they initially intended on. But even then, the Battle Royale wasn't even a thought at the time, because it was just the Save the World game.
Right.
But I don't know, Sony definitely needs to fix their act when it comes to how they're dealing with third-party interaction, because it's like, you can do games, like a few games, like for example Rocket League, you can play with PC players.
Right.
That's the only one that comes to mind at the moment. No, Rocket League could do it PC players. If we go back as far as PS3 era, you could do Portal with PC players as well, Portal 2. And there might be a few more games you could do with PC players, like Final Fantasy Realm Reborn. But overall, they are... Yeah, and then I believe that one was a crossplay with PC, because I had some PC friends that I used to play with on there, because a lot of my friends that play Realm Reborn don't even have a PlayStation, like, so those were ones that were crossplay. But overall, Sony doesn't have many. I'm sure you guys might be able to tell me a couple more games that are crossplay with PC, but overall, Sony shies against it, because for some reason they feel that PC is less of a threat than another console, which PC, in my opinion, is a bigger threat. Because, like, people, like, for me, I have my PlayStation for a couple of their exclusives, and then mainly the Japanese games that don't come out anywhere else. But those Japanese games also come out on PC, so it's like, it's not like if I didn't have a PlayStation, I can't play those games. So, yeah,
and also, like, someone in the chat, like, just, I think it was a Robotech going in again. He was like, yeah, they're making you pay. Like, a lot of people see that you have to pay for an online subscription, whereas internet on a PC is free and always will be. So it's like, PC is a way bigger threat than like the other console, but like you said.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't know. Sony's got to get their shit together. Like they've really got to get their shit together, to be incredibly honest. It's just not. It's not a good look for them at all. It's just not.
I'm actually glad you brought up their cop-out excuse this time, because you remember, everyone remembers last year. It's all about the kids. We want to protect the kids. Now they know that excuse doesn't work, and now they're saying, because the question was actually about a completely different thing, the Fortnite account itself, other than the crossplay.
Mm-hmm.
But like they were asked about the Fortnite account, and they were like, where there's crossplay with PC, and like that didn't have anything to do with what they asked.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really funny. They were like, well, it's crossplay with PC, so fuck you. Yeah. We don't care what you want, and you're gonna buy a system anyway. So yeah.
And what I find funny is Nintendo's excuse for just about everything is the children. We don't have voice chat. The children. We don't do this. The children. We can't do this. The children. And then they go crossplay with Xbox. Oh yeah, we could do that. Sony goes, the children. It's like, Sony, when have you ever cared about the children? Did you care about the children when you showed a dude getting his stomach split open on The Last of Us? No, you didn't. So, why do you pretend to care about the children now? Like, so, I don't know. They've got their own things they need to work out. Will it change? Apparently it can if people bother and harp them enough, but
yeah,
overall it's not. I don't know. See you later, Frank. I don't know. They just gotta. They've definitely gotta. Sony's gotta back up and remember people are with them because of their not very great, but their services they provide, and if they just start to show that their services aren't as broad as their competition, then that can hurt them. And doesn't mean it will hurt them, but it can hurt them. Right. Because people at this point are now looking at, hey, this person has a Nintendo, hey, this person has an Xbox, this person has a PC. They can all literally play stuff together while Sony is sitting all on their lonesome. That's going to make everything else look more appealing. Especially because the crossplay also goes along with the fact that means it's a game that's on Switch, so you can take it on the go.
Right.
And a game that's on Xbox. That gives you more incentive to buy games for both of those systems. Hell, even the same game for both systems. Did you know Dragon Ball FighterZ, Dragon Ball Fighters is also crossplay? That's going to be crossplay with Xbox and PC. So it's like,
when Fortnite came out, it was instantly crossplay. Like it went without saying. Like they instantly activated the crossplay. So it's like now it's almost like an industry standard. And now, like, everyone is saying, well, shit, now Sony's third party is objectively the worst now because you get the least out of it. You get the least. To play with. Right.
So, I don't know. This sounds like a Sony hate stream. It kind of is. But it's warranted. It's literally warranted. Because, like, I'm tired of having to... Because all the time, you guys have no idea. Not many people deal with it. It's my fault that I deal with it, but I have all the systems. So when a game comes out, I literally have to think, especially with you guys, I have to think about you guys before anything else. So it's like, a game comes out, because that's something I'm dealing with at Anthem. Perfect example. It's coming out, PlayStation, PC, Xbox. What do I get it on?
Right.
Do I get it on PlayStation and play with, I guess, you and my friend Bradley, and then whatever subscriber has a PlayStation, which is almost everybody? Or do I get it on Xbox to play with Nail? Or do I get it on PC? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where to grab it. But at this point, because they said crossplay already, they already said crossplay between Xbox and PC will be a thing for that game. That makes the Xbox version more appealing. Because I can get it on Xbox and play with my PC subs.
Exactly.
So, like, the PlayStation one's ignorable. But if I do that, then you and I can't play. So it's like, we're stuck in a rock and a hard place. And if Sony would man up and open up the servers, I won't even have to think about it. I'll just get it where I want the game. And honestly, I want it on PlayStation, but I'd rather get it where it benefits the channel, you know, more. You know, and it benefits the channel more on Xbox if I can play with PC people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, cross-play, like, as, like, activating it, Like, and I'm glad that they eliminated this excuse from Sony before they even made it. Like, I'm pretty sure like this was last year, so I'm just bringing up something old. Like, they literally, Epic Games literally said like it's a flip of the switch.
Yep.
Like they literally accidentally did it. So that's how easy it is. Like they made a mistake and did it. Like that's like there's no reason not to do it at that point.
Yeah, because it's their own personal servers. They're legitimately capable of merging it. It's like no different than me doing port forwarding for Gary's mod. So it's like, yeah, they could literally, I don't know. They, There's like not much to say about that. It's just really disappointing that they're.
I'm so glad. Like you have no idea. I am so glad that they pissed off the Fortnite community. Like I'm so happy they did.
Which is a
because they're finally
community.
getting the shit they deserve. Like every time Sony has a legitimate issue and like everyone, like every little fanboy comes out, no, the PS4 is the perfect system. They're outselling the competition. Like that's always the excuse. Well, if you're winning, you can do whatever you want to. But now it's no, you need to be for the consumer no matter what, or whatever the case may be. Sony is finally getting the shit they deserve to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they deserve a lot of it, to be honest, because, like, how many people have gone through more than 2 PS2s in its life cycle? So,
right.
I mean, same thing could be said for the 360, but at least, like, they would fix their problem. If you got a red ring, they'd fix it for you. Sony, on the other hand, like, when my PS3 had an issue, I called them about it, and their suggestion was to send them mine and then pay for a new one. Like,
yeah,
that's their suggestion.
My PS2 broke, actually. Yeah, I went through two. And that's why it's so funny that you said that, because it applies directly to me.
Yep.
Because I always played Midnight Club 3 and Spider-Man 2. And like one day it just said, nope, not gonna work. And I was like, what? Is something wrong? Like nothing happened to it. And it was like, nope, not gonna work. And I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, and it's
Well,
Sony
like,
making discs that destroy their own system. Purpleback. Like the way you make a purpleback disc work and the way you make a purpleback disc not burn out your laser in the system is by putting 4 pieces of duct tape in a square formation around the center. How's it going, Spider Slays? But yeah, that's how you do it, because it weighs the disc down so that it reads properly, because it's not DVD-R, it's CDR. Sony has so many like little issues that they still have, in my opinion, have never really worked out, and they just continue with their business practices. But I don't know. Their beef with crossplay and their beef with crossplay and their beef with Fortnite, it's got to stop. Like it's making them look really bad. So that's just something they need to chill out with, especially openly coming out. Fortnite, I think the PC and PS4 Fortnites are the most popular versions. Were the most popular versions, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And they destroyed that popularity by admittedly coming out and saying they don't like the game. They don't like the game. They don't like it, the way it pulls people from playing their personal products. And that it's shady and bad business model. Now, I wouldn't say it's shady or a bad business model. I personally don't care for all that stuff. But you don't have to buy anything in that game. At all. You don't have to spend real money. I have never been given the opportunity to buy anything when I played the game. Like, I have to look for it. So it's like... So I don't see what's shady about that. But they were very okay with... I mean, that's going to bring up a problem. But they were very okay with bringing up the fact that they agree with EA's business practices. But not with what Fortnite's doing, so... But I don't know. But yeah, either way, welcome back, Spider Slays. It has been a little while since I've seen you. I feel like you might have changed your name. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, either way, welcome back, dude. This is something we do every Friday. It's called the Pulschat. I pull in some friends from another channel. You'll see every single time in Pulschats. And we, pretty much talk about different events and different gaming news, things that are happening in the gaming space as well. A lot has changed in the channel since you've been here recently, so... but yeah, what was your original name? Alright, so is there anything you wanted to touch base on with Sony before we move on?
Nah, not really. I'm just glad. Justice. Justice reigns from above.
Oh, I do have one more. Okay, you're Snipe Beast. How's it going, dude? It's been a while. It's been a very long time. Shit. How have you been? Now this is a question for all of you guys and you as well, Will. Sony still be the last Sony thing. How do you guys feel about the level of violence in the new Last of Us? Like, the level of violence in the game, I'm okay with it, but I still feel like it's somewhat unnecessary.
Like, brutal for the sake of being brutal.
Yeah, like, it seems like it's brutal for the sake of being brutal. Like, sitting there and literally watching someone get their stomach cut open and stuff like that. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, I'm no activist or anything. I'm not necessarily against it. It's just a matter of people. That one was a controversial one, and people did have their things to say about that. Because especially since, like, at E3, for example, they go out of your way to let you see it happen.
Right.
Like, they sat there and just watch it happen. And, like, in video games and stuff are happening in the background, you could just walk right past it. Like, you don't have to sit there and watch. Matter of fact, they could have saved that guy. Because it was still gameplay. So it's like showing you that was them trying to prove a point.
Yeah, it's like they're overplaying. It's like they're overcompensating almost.
Because even like the first trailer they showed with the person being hung, they pulled her down, broke her arms, and put her back. So it's like, I don't know exactly how people are taking that. You don't even know what Sony is. PlayStation. PlayStation devices. PlayStation 4, crappy PlayStation Vita, PS3, PS2, PS1, original PSP. You know, the people that originally had all the great games ended up getting sold to everyone else, like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and Tomb Raider. That is pretty funny when you think about it. Sony's legacy doesn't belong to them. Medieval's coming as an HD for Xbox and PlayStation. They lost Crash Bandicoot. They lost Spyro. They lost.
That's what you mean now. Yeah.
They lost Jack and Daxter a long time ago. They just don't remind you that they did, because Jack X came out on the Xbox. Like, Sony's franchises that made them who they are, all gone.
Yeah. People, like, there are people that still think Crash and Spyro are like PlayStation characters.
Yeah.
Like, what? No.
So
it's like, Spyro's coming to Switch. That's nice of Sony to let them have it. Like, no, it wasn't their choice. Okay.
You're currently playing Fortnite on PS4. You can't play with anyone else. Papa Sony said no.
Yeah, that's so, like,
stupid.
And then, like, I see all those tweets. Like, this one guy was like, "Oh yeah, I spent like $200 on my account, and you're just gonna lock it and stuff." And I was like, "Dang!" Like, Sony's getting it.
Like, Sony has a say. Like the Fortnite developers went in and unlocked people's accounts, but then Sony blocked them from using them on the PlayStation. So, like,
yeah,
Sony.
I actually heard someone was trying to sue or something, or they almost sued or something. I don't know where I saw that from. Hold on. See if I can.
But yeah, Snipe Beast, or I guess Spider, since that's what you're going by now, we could totally play together if you want to. Because obviously with it being a free game, I have it on everything, but I don't turn it on much, so don't expect like grade A gameplay. But yeah, I don't know. I just want Sony to stop dicking around. Like, that's about it. Like, it doesn't affect me as much since I have everything, but there are plenty of people that only have a PlayStation. So there are plenty of people that only have a PlayStation. How's it going, Nick? You can still play with mobile and PC, right? Fortnite's crossplay with PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think, is it crossplay with mobile though? I heard it wasn't. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'll look that up, but I do know it's. I don't know if it's crossplay with PC, because when I streamed it on Xbox, PC people and phone people were joining. But I don't think I ever did a PlayStation stream. I've only done a stream for everything else. Okay, Ohm says it is. So we can still give it a try, regardless, Spider, and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I saw someone in like one of my Discord things that I never ever joined, and they were just dancing around it. Like they were like, yeah, I want to do a Fortnite team, but I'm on PS4, and I was like, whoa, sucks for you. And,
Yeah, right. You're not playing with anybody.
Like, does someone have PC? And they're like, nope. You're stuck with the worst version of the game.
Yep,
and
that is the worst version now at this point.
It's
like,
literally the worst version of the game.
One thing I want to say before I move on. Sony is trying to retract the fact that they said they don't like Fortnite by releasing a Fortnite PlayStation 4 bundle.
I saw that. With
Fortnite preloaded onto the system. And then you get an exclusive skin and some Fortnite money.
Yeah, they're snakes. Like, I can't, like, if Sony was like a person, I can't fuck with no. Because look, okay, they do all this exclusive like skin and stuff and gliders for the PlayStation, and then like you said, they turn around and say, "Oh yeah, we think the practice is shady." Like, bruh, like you fake, bruh. Like, come on, bro.
They don't want any friends. To be fair, Sony's never wanted friends. With the PS3 era, they had the worst. Like in the PS3 era, they have the absolute worst. Like online community, and like people don't talk, the games you lag out of and get kicked out of. PS3 was the worst era for Sony as far as everything. So it's like that back in the day, the way we used to see it, like the way we talked about it at all times, was if you had a PlayStation, you were most likely a loner and didn't have any friends, because that's how that's how it was. Its online community was dead. It wasn't very good. Everyone you talked to was assholes that didn't have its own dedicated anything. It just wasn't good. So it's like. Yeah. So, like, the social people played on Xbox 360. The loners and people with no friends, because all of Sony's exclusive games are single-player, got PlayStation. And then people that had local friends, like me, got Nintendo. And I had Xbox and Nintendo, so I had the best of both worlds. And then I eventually got a PS3, but like I said, it was lonely as shit. So I held on to it for anime games, and that was it.
Right.
So
I felt a greater sense of community on the Wii than I did on the PS3.
Which is sad, actually.
Right, because they had the if anyone in the chat remembers, the Everybody Votes channel. Like that little tiny speck of just knowing someone else out there had a Wii was like way better than actually literally talking to people on the PS3. So it's like,
Miiverse felt more alive.
Exactly.
And no one had a Wii U. Miiverse felt more alive than the PlayStation 4 community, in my opinion. So,
why can't Metroid crawl? Oh my god. I love ball. Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Kids are so like kids are so stupid, man. But, yeah.
Alright, I guess the next thing we're gonna take a look at here is this.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Parrish, co-host of the Retronauts podcast. I love classic games, I love portable games, and I love the fact that Nintendo Switch brings the two together in a great and accessible way. But there's one thing that would make classic gaming on the Switch even better, and that would be a portable vertical gameplay mode. That's why I've teamed up with my friends at Fangamer and engineer Mike Choi to create Flip Grip. A simple Switch grip that allows you to play classic games in vertical mode.
We wanted to create a simple, easy way for people to play vertical-oriented games without wasting a single pixel of the Switch's screen. It had to be just as convenient as playing the Switch by itself. After months of prototypes, we arrived at this solution. We designed the Flip Grip to allow for one orientation of the console, exposing the card slot and the headphone jack. You've probably noticed that it covers a few of the air vents, but here's why that's not a problem. The Flip Grip does not create an airtight seal around your console, so air is still flowing into every vent, even the ones that seem covered. We've run tests with and without the grip installed, and there's no appreciable difference in temperature, even with intensive games like Breath of the Wild. We designed the Flip Grip to only operate in battery mode. You cannot charge or dock your Switch while the Flip Grip is installed. So that means your console will never run at full power, which keeps the heat and airflow nice and manageable. It's stronger and more affordable than anything you could 3D print on your own. Plus, it's durable enough to withstand the anger you may feel while playing a vertical shooter.
A lot of old arcade games flipped their giant CRT displays to be taller than they were wide. Because of this, the Switch in vertical mode is a perfect home to experience them in their originally intended glory. But we don't want the Flip Grip to be just for classic games. We hope developers, whether they're porting old classics or new indie titles, like the Flip Grip as well. And we hope that you like it too. The hard part for us, engineering, testing, and prototyping, that's already done. All that's left now is to raise the funds we need to put the Flip Grip into production. And that's where you come in. Thanks for watching.
So that is a interesting little device there that I definitely plan on backing and getting day one. What do you think about that, Will?
It looks great, honestly. Like I never, because the Switch it's not like any other system. Like you're gonna eventually, like there's gonna be that out there developer that does like a big massive game in that not landscape mode, that portrait mode of the Switch. So you're probably gonna need something like that. Like I think that's really convenient. Actually.
Yeah, and the cool thing is they actually have spoken to multiple developers about making games in that view. Like, not really saying, hey, make some games this way, but basically stating, if you guys had the idea of doing it, you're now capable of it without having to think about, you know, compromise to your idea, because now you can hold the system sideways without any issues. So I think that's actually pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, and this is just, I don't know if it's me being a fanboy or whatever, but in a lot of ways, I think the Switch is like a limitless device. Like almost,
yeah, it definitely is.
Anything can be done. Like in many different facets as well. Like you can customize it. Like have you ever seen those like 3D printed everythings for the Switch? Like I think there's a lot of stuff you can do with the Switch, man. Like it's a lot.
Yeah, so I'm expecting some more great things like that coming from like indie companies and stuff, because they're pumping some stuff out. Like you heard about the dock that's also a projector. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I think that's pretty cool. It's a lot of money, but I think it's cool. Yeah. Like it's actually pretty cool though. So that's something I definitely plan on getting at some point when I decide to shell out the money for it, because it's like $300.
Yeah.
Understandable, because it's still a projector no matter how you look at it, and it also has an HDMI slot to put other systems on. So I don't know. What do you guys think? The few people that are still here. Put a cute face on it. Just get it. I'll get it within 1 minute. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I'm definitely gonna get it. There was another thing that Will shared with me. Really quick, let me pull that up.
When you're playing games, or when you're playing ARMS, it will be harder with the flip grip.
I don't think you would use that to play ARMS, personally. I don't know. I don't think I'd use that to play ARMS. This is a concept Sean shared earlier, basically talking about how if there's a lack of Virtual Console, Nintendo could make extra things that use your Nintendo account to buy games for it. Say what?
That is so sexy.
Yeah, so it's like this one was like someone was talking about being like a Game Boy one. So it's Game Boy Virtual Console. You use your Nintendo account, you log in, download and buy whatever games you want, you slide your Joy-Con on, and boom. That sounds like it'd be an amazing idea.
Right.
I could get behind that. Like, it'd be annoying to have extra little pieces laying around. Like, this is my 64 one, this is my Game Boy Advance one. That, or they could just make one that's all around all systems. I don't know how they would do that, but it still would be cool. Like, just a little way, you know, Nintendo could like make you pay like $100 to have like a miniature Virtual Console machine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still like extra stuff, and the Switch is literally capable of doing all of it without extra things. But I think it might be a cool idea. I don't know. That's too much playing around in some ways.
Yeah, I was thinking like the former, where it's like, I think we talked about this before, like a Raspberry Pi. Yeah. And they somehow integrate it with the eShop, and you just buy whatever games that way. Mm-hmm. And it's basically you're just searching for ROMs or whatever. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'd be a neat idea if they did something like that. But is there anything you want to touch base on with Nintendo before we, I guess, move on?
No.
It's not really much else, to be honest. Guess that ends that Nintendo. Alrighty. Well, that wasn't a straight line. Alright, so there's not many people here. We might even skip the chill talk portion. Or even just the rest of it in general. Because this is like... There wasn't much to talk about for this Pulse Chat. It's, I guess, primarily bitching about Sony and then talking about the little Nintendo device that person made, the two people made. I guess, was there anything you wanted to touch base on before we end?
Nah.
Okay. For those of you guys that joined, thank you for hanging out. You know we do this every Friday. We might have another one in the middle of the week at some point because I'm sure some type of information is going to drop that we can talk about. If not, look forward to a Pulschat video rather than a stream. It'll just bulletin a little bit of information on some games and release dates and stuff. That's something we're going to start doing here pretty soon. But either way, I guess you guys should have a good night.
Pulschat.